Welcome back to WIS News Primetime as we continue our conversation with Sharon Salazar. Now, we were talking a lot about just sometimes people don't even know the name of this disorder, maybe that they have it or not. But then you are obviously doing such incredible work kind of bringing a name to it and bringing help with that. Tell us a little bit about kind of the need for advocacy that comes along with this.
Well, back in 1991 when this whole organization started, nobody knew about this, right? And even doctors would not know much about it because people would be so embarrassed and ashamed. So over the years, we've just gotten the word out. It's gotten the little coding in the books and whatever. And so most people seem to know, they'll say, I did that, or they'll know, I know somebody. So I'm seeing that it's pretty common that way. But it always surprises me actually when somebody says they've never heard of it, because we've been talking about it for 30-something years. Anyway.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and as you mentioned, you wrote several books, including a guide for parents of hair pullers called What's Happening to My Child. Talk about that process, putting your thoughts down on paper and some of the responses that you've gotten.
Well, first of all, I started with what's my first book called? You Are Not Alone. And then after a couple of years, I noticed the conversation changed and people would be calling up going, I've been beaten for this. My hands were held tied, you know, and I started going, oh, there was abuse. And so then I started talking to people about that and how to be able to handle it correctly. You know, how come, you know, to the child, what do you want me to do when I see you pulling, instead of shaming them or something, you know, that kind of thing.
Have you found that sometimes for parents it's hard for them to accept it?
Yes, because they think it's personal, right? And they think they failed. And maybe there is some stuff that's going on, and it can be an opportunity to open that conversation so that the parent sees, am I too intense with my kid? Am I, you know, and it actually has been, trichotillomania has been something that's changed my life for the better. And I've seen that when people start to understand it and all that, it can become a very good thing and open up a lot of relationships.
Yeah. What would you say are some like the biggest takeaways that you've taken away from it over the years, and just, you know, what you pass on to others?
That this isn't about who I am, you know, and it isn't for any of us, that the exterior. It's finding out who we are inside, and that's where the value is, you know. So that has been wonderful, because when I was really cute when I was and so I thought, this is no. And so it just has brought a sense of identity, you know.
Absolutely, because I feel like at first, whenever you're uncertain of it and all of these kind of questions, it can cause a loss of identity in some ways, and it can just be very isolating. But like you said, kind of having somebody who, oh, I've been there. I actually have that same thing, and can create a community, like you said. And you have actually also created Beauty by Sharon, is that right?
Yeah, that's natural looking eyelashes products for people to just restore a feeling of beauty and normalcy.
Yes, and kind of how long did you do that? How long ago did you do that?
Started in '93, sold about 31 years. Yeah, and I've got the Wig Emporium. Yeah, so it's just products.
What would be your biggest piece of advice to people who are struggling either with you know, body image or anxiety, or, you know, because you hear so much of it, and I guess many people struggle in many different ways, but what would be your message to them?
Across the board, anyone that has anxiety, to start going, what am I feeling? Where does that come from? Because a lot of times we're just living out our imprints of what we've been told or taught. Just to really just kind of get to know and go, what is it that is going on right now that's, you know, that really is bothering me?
Absolutely. There's a deeper purpose, a deeper meaning in there. We're going to have all your information actually on that full screen right there to learn more about just the Learning Center. You also have 2 books that we spoke about that are available right now. That's the website right there with the wigs, eyelashes, and more. People who are kind of questions, want more information, is there a website with you? Is there kind of some way, what's the step they should take?
Well, I'm the one that runs those, so and my number's on there, and I'd be happy to talk to anybody that wants encouragement or any kind of information on this, free. I don't ever charge.
Thank you so much for coming on and speaking with us today. This was really special.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, Sharon.
Thank you so much.